All right, everybody, welcome in. This is Eagles Talk, inching closer to the regular season. PY, Rob Brinkman, Les Bowen will be on just a little bit. We are broadcasting live from the Real Talk Studios. Find us wherever you get your podcasts, Spreaker, Spotify, Google Play, iHeartRadio, iTunes. Also found on social media, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter X, Instagram. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, turn those notifications on. We are brought to you each and every Monday by Baggio's Bread, located in Laurel, New Jersey, home of the best stuff, tomato pie, sandwiches, cutlets, and meatball. Mention A2D Radio, 10% off your in-store purchase. Second preseason game in the books. Got a lot to talk about. We got a trade to talk about. We'll touch on some Landon Dickerson stuff. And obviously, we are going to get to all of your comments throughout the show. That brings us to our poll question. Eagles lose Saturday afternoon to the Cleveland Browns, but there were many bright spots, especially in the secondary. Poll question: the performances of Andrew Mukuba and Jakorian Bennett should quiet concerns about the secondary. Agree? Disagree? What do you think, PY?
I'm not too worried about the secondary right now because Mukuba is starting to show what they were looking for in the secondary position. Like they need someone who's going to be able to make an impact. And even if it's not him, I do think Sidney Jones does. All right, Sidney Jones. Why do I always say Sidney Brown? Sidney Brown does give you that element of stability as well. Like I'm excited to see what his next step looks like. Like obviously, I have more hope for Mukuba. I think he's more so what you're looking for. He's like a heat-seeking missile at times. Like he's someone who you feel good about in coverage. He's someone who knows how to get to the ball. When it comes to Jakorian Bennett, Jakorian Bennett was an exceptional corner last year when he was healthy. And I think people overreacting to certain things with him is, oh, he's not looking good in camp. He's not doing this in the preseason. And I'm just like, he's been here for less than 2 weeks. Like it's going to take some time to acclimate and get him ready. But I liked what I saw from him in the last preseason game. He was active. He had some nice pass breakups. And if you're comparing him to what he looked like versus Keely Ringo and Adoree Jackson, yeah, he's ahead. He's number one right now. Like the only other option at CB2 right now is Cooper DeJean. I just don't see that happening. Like I think they love him in the nickel spot. They're going to move him around, whether it's safety, they're going to do linebacker, whatever. They're going to do whatever they have to do to keep him on the field. So maybe you could see some CB2 on the outside from Cooper DeJean, but for the most part, it's going to be Bennett. Like that's who they want to win the job. I keep hearing people throw around like Greg Newsome or a trade for Denzel Ward. And I'm like, Newsome is a possibility as a cut. But I can't see them trading for Newsome right now just because they just traded for Jakorian Bennett. And Denzel Ward's a pipe dream. Like, obviously, that'd be awesome. But why would the Browns do that? Like they're 2 weeks from the start of the season. Like their defense is their bright spot. Their offense is not good. They're heading into the season with Joe Flacco as their quarterback. Like the offense isn't really doing anything for them in Cleveland. It's all about their defense. So that's not happening. Like Jakorian Bennett and Andrew Mukuba are most likely going to be your starting safety. Alongside Reed Blankenship, and Jakorian Bennett's going to be your CB2 next to Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. There's no if, ands, buts about it. Like maybe you'll get some Sidney Brown sprinkles here and there, or maybe they'll go out and they'll sign somebody to help with depth. I think they're going to get rid of Adoree Jackson. I don't, whether it's a trade, whether they just outright cut him and he doesn't make the 53. I think there are other options. You could go out and go get a corner as a depth piece to replace Adoree Jackson. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's basically where we're heading into the season with, and I'm okay with it. I think the secondary is going to be very good. Like, it just kind of goes to show that people slept on Darius Slay and what he was bringing into this offense last year, or defense last year. My brain's all over the place.
Well, remember, folks, Drew Mukuba and Jakorian Bennett, they didn't play in the first game against the Cincinnati Bengals. So I have never seen a rookie and a guy who's been here for a week and a half play one preseason game and just immediately vault themselves into the starting lineup. Now, whether
very rare,
especially the Jakorian Bennett aspect. Like, I can never, we're going to have Les Bowen on here in a matter of seconds here, but I can never remember an August trade piece coming to, like, we're not the Cleveland Browns. This team won the Super Bowl convincingly last year. So for Howie to go and scout and find a starting corner in the middle of training camp, I've never seen anything like that before.
I mean, that's not true technically.
What?
Ronald Darby.
Was that a trade?
Yes.
Okay.
It was a trade like 3 weeks before the season started. We did the exact same thing with starting safety in 22 with C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
C.J. Gardner-Johnson, wasn't he a free agent?
No, it was a trade.
In training camp?
Yes.
He came over from the Saints in a trade during training camp?
Do you not remember this?
I don't remember C.J. Gardner-Johnson being a trade in training camp. Ronald Darby, you got me there. Okay. But, I mean, Keely Ringo, Adoree Jackson's not making the team. And Drew Mukuba, like, I'm kind of sick of hearing about Sidney Brown. If Sidney Brown was so great, then they wouldn't have drafted Drew Mukuba in the second round. So I have no concerns about this secondary. And I don't think Howie's done moving and shaking.
No, of course not. If you think that, then you're an idiot.
I don't know if you're an idiot if you think he's done moving and
shaking.
If
you think there's no way that Howie Roseman is going to try and like fix this roster even more so than he already has.
You can try and trade for Denzel Ward. You can try and trade for Michael Parsons. You can try and trade for Myles Garrett. Like,
let Michael Parsons rot in Dallas.
Why?
What? Like I'm good. Like I don't need Micah. Like
said no one ever.
That's fine. I'm not trading all these draft picks for someone when I have all these guys I need to pay. Like
so the poll question, I agree. These two guys are going to be starters. These two guys are better than what's in-house, and they're both genius. One's a draft pick, one's a trade basically a week ago, and they're going to be anchor pieces, starting pieces for a team trying to repeat as Super Bowl champions. Let's bring Les Bowen in. Bowen on the Birds.
Hey, fellas.
What's up, Les?
What's up, Les?
I'm great.
C.J. Gardner, I'm bringing up this trade right now.
Yeah, they traded for him August 30th.
Actually, it was incredibly late. It was the week before the opener, after the preseason game.
August 30th.
Yeah, it was right. And my first thought when they did it was, well, how's he going to, fit in having come here almost as the season's starting? But it worked out great for him. Yeah. He worked right in there. He was a safety. Corner-wise, Pete's right about Ronald Darby. Not a great corner, a good corner, decent corner. But on the poll question, I kind of agree. I mean, I think that's where we're going to end up, which is what Rob was saying. Quiet concerns, if you're saying like, oh my gosh, they've settled everything and these guys are just the greatest ever. I mean, we don't know that yet. I guess I still have concerns, but I think that's where we end up, is with Mukuba and Bennett starting. Vic threw a little mustard today by having DeJean practice outside. and everybody wanted to know what that was about. But he made it pretty clear that he doesn't want to play DeJean at outside corner. There'd be a learning curve for DeJean, as great as he is, and B, you don't have. It's an important position that he really changed that defense, the way he played the nickel last year. And unless you have somebody who can do that, he changed their stance against the run. He changed throwing over the middle. So if you put him on the outside, you just create a problem somewhere else. So I do think it'll be Bennett. I don't know about Adoree Jackson getting cut. Both you guys think that. Kelee Ringo was the guy taking the third team reps today, from what I read. I don't know. If it
There's
were
no
up
way
to me,
both. There's no way both of them make this team, though, right?
maybe not. If you're going to trade for something, maybe trade Kelee Ringo for something. The scuttlebutt today was that Trey Hendrickson is available for a defensive player and a first-round pick. I would give you Kelee Ringo and a first-round pick for Trey Hendrickson. I still think edge rush is the possible Achilles heel of this team. After you get past those first two guys, I don't think you got much. And one of them gets hurt, then you're in a lot of trouble, I think. But, we'll see how that all works out. But you're both absolutely right about Bennett. I think it was Pete who initially said, people started saying things the first day he was out there in practice. Oh, this happened and that. Hell, he doesn't even know where he is yet. This is a defense that he has to learn, and there might be a learning curve. There might be he might not look great for a while, but I do think he's the most talented guy they have.
Yep.
Well, maybe I shouldn't say that, because the deal with Kelee Ringo, and the reason Kelee Ringo kind of pisses me off, is there's a lot of talent there.
Oh, yeah.
That's a guy who's 6'2", ran a 4.3 640, but you can't teach instincts and smarts. And even in college, he dropped to the fourth round. Now he's an SEC corner who's 6'2" and runs a 4.36. It's not like he was playing at Tarleton State or something. How was he available in the fourth round? Well, he was available in the fourth round because he does dumb stuff.
Well, I don't even think it was that. He was just so young.
Yeah. I just don't see him being ready to be a starter. And I don't like, ideally, even though as great as Quinion Mitchell is, this is his second year. You'd like to have kind of a veteran on the other side. It doesn't have to be Methuselah, but, somebody that's been around, has taken a few snaps, and that's not Kelee Ringo.
No.
Anyhow, I sort of mildly agree with the poll, but I think people get to, particularly on Mukuba. Mukuba came up with an interception and then fell on a fumble. It's like, oh, wow, Pro Bowl. Yeah. And
Sure.
I don't think it's quite that simple, but, we'll see. I think he's certainly, like you said, he's the guy they want to start there, and I think he will.
The Mukuba interception, if you look at it, all the Browns receivers were in the same spot.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know what they were doing. If it's a busted play, they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, they had somebody ran the wrong route there, and they were bunched up. Yeah.
But Mukuba did find the football, which was one of his
did. And ran it all the way back. Yes.
And he housed it. He really just didn't.
Yes.
It really didn't like he worked too hard to house the.
But I think everybody's so instantaneous now, that plays in like Shedeur Sanders. We were talking about this last week, I think. He had a good debut in a preseason game, and people were on the internet demanding apologies from those who doubted him.
Well,
and then Mukuba, same thing. It was one preseason game. He did fine.
And now this week, I guess we have to apologize to Dylan Gabriel.
Yes,
people like me have to apologize to Dylan Gabriel, because I think Shedeur Sanders is better than Dylan Gabriel, because Dylan Gabriel had a good game against the Eagles.
I think, by the way, the Bengals are playing tonight. and I think their defense is looking a lot like it looked.
Atrocious.
Yeah, when everybody was deciding that the Eagles had the greatest backup quarterback in the history of football, and he is, I love the guy, and I'm glad. I don't think they should trade him or anything like that. I think they should keep him, and I think he'll win games for them if Hurts gets injured. But he was playing against what might be a historically bad defense.
Yes, and Joe Burrow is getting stomped on national television.
Yeah, that organization. Jeez.
Why would you put him out there? Like, you're just trying to get him hurt.
I think the rationale the first game was, well, the Bengals have gotten off to horrible starts the last 2 or 3 years in a row, and it's affected their season, even after they got going. So they're going to really hit hard on the preseason and see if they can get off to a better start. But getting Joe Burrow killed in preseason is probably not going to achieve that end. And I don't really think Joe Burrow is your problem with the slow starts. I could be wrong. The fact that you have a terrible offensive line and a bad defense might be more to the point.
All right, let's blow through some comments here. Little G on YouTube. I'm a fan of the Eagles season. They better kick Dallas's butt. We're going to be getting into game predictions.
2.5 weeks.
Predictions. 2.5 weeks. What's that? September 4th, I guess it is. Thursday night.
6th, maybe. I don't know. 4th? Is it 4th?
Yeah, I think it's the 4th.
Probably is, yeah.
One of the only spots where Thursday night football is acceptable, in my opinion. The opener and Thanksgiving. That should be it.
Yep.
Doubleheader on Monday night. Get an East Coast game at 7. Get a West Coast game at 10, and there you have it. You don't have to have stupid Thursday night football.
Yeah,
and you can let Amazon show one of the games, so you don't lose any. God forbid you lose any ad revenue. But
you can put the good games on at 7, and you put the bad games on at 10. There you go.
Well, it's time. It's a coast thing, Pete.
Yeah.
You just get the Chargers on the 10 o'clock game.
Exactly. Like I said, you put the bad game on then. Chargers.
Yeah.
Well, the Chargers, there's good West Coast teams, PY.
Not the Chargers.
Kahaman.
Yes, they do.
Thanks for checking us out. Sorry, I butchered your name. Brown stinks in coverage. Okay. I don't think Brown's that great.
He's
really
okay.
Anything besides
the hitter.
We haven't seen enough of him to say he stinks in coverage.
Well,
like, when was he really in coverage last year? Minus 6 or 7 reps.
I'm not thrilled to see him in coverage. I hope he picks it up. I think he's a guy that likes to run around and hit people.
Yeah.
And I think that style of play was a lot more viable maybe 20 years ago than it is now. But, we'll see. I don't have anything against the guy. I hope he does well.
Feels like 2023 would be scrambling to fill the corner and safety positions.
No.
This
the
is
overall defense is so much better than that group.
It's at worst, if it's not the number 1 defense, it's at worst a top 10 defense.
Yeah. And I don't think they're scrambling. I mean, they have Quinyon Mitchell on one corner, and I think Blankenship at one safety. You can get, if you have like Mitchell is a great player. If you have a great corner on one side, you can kind of get away with having an okay corner on the other side. He has to be okay. He can't be bad. But if he's okay, that's better than most teams have. One really good and one okay one.
I read an anniversary article. This was maybe a year or two ago about the best corner duos in NFL history. Mm-hmm. And number 1, to your point, Les, number 1 was Deion Sanders and anybody else.
Yeah.
So right. I think your point tracks there. Bob Brinkman, Mukuba won the starting safety job. I agree with that. Cornerback 2 is still unsettled.
Stop.
It's
settled. It's settled.
Today that it's not settled.
It's settled, Les.
Well, I think they're going to end up with Bennett, but no, I don't think they know yet.
It's very settled.
I don't think it's very. I don't
see.
think it's very settled.
I think Jakorian will be out there for the preseason finale, and
yeah, but the only reason he'll be out there, it's not because is because he hasn't been here long enough. He's been here like a week and a half, 2 weeks. Like, you need to have him out there.
Yeah, and you need.
I don't even know who they play. Who do they play in this?
They play the Jets, like always.
The old time, but they not like always. They haven't done it in years now. It used to be every year the preseason finale, and it was always just a horrible game because back in the days of the 4-game preseason schedule, it was always the game that they would keep guys just to play them in that game.
Yes.
And then cut them the next morning. Guys you would never hear of again.
G.J. Kenny.
Yeah, but now they don't do that. They only have 3 preseason games. So you'll see guys that are trying to make the roster. You'll see guys that are trying to win starting spots. And I think you'll probably see Jakorian Bennett. And I just, we're saying the kind of the same thing, Pete, but if he doesn't pick it up quickly enough, they might not start him week 1. They're not going to let him go out there and.
I think he would have to look really bad against the Jets for him to not be their starting corner.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Yeah, but it might happen.
And also, Adoree Jackson and Keely Ringo have just been so bad. Like, if you look at the All-22, from the last game, like it's nothing in comparison. Like, he's so high above them by doing the bare minimum.
Yeah. I almost wonder with Ringo, from what I saw of that second game, Ringo, I said today, was taking third-team reps in practice. I wonder if they almost see an effort situation there that he's pissed off or something. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't say that because I don't know. But he didn't look to me in that second preseason game even as good as he looked in the first preseason game, where he gave up a horrible touchdown, but he was out there working, trying. I didn't really see a lot from him at all in the second. He was kind of jogging around to me. But
Bob, we missed on Rodgers. We should have kept him. I think that's comment of the night thus far.
I don't think they expected him to get the contract that he got. Like, I thought.
No. I don't think he got that great. It was $11.5 million for 2 years.
I think they had a number on him, and it was above their number. Like, they were being a little cheap. Like,
I will say, and you're not allowed to say this anymore now that he's won 2 Super Bowls, but I think it's Howie. I think Howie loves his draft picks, and he wanted Keely Ringo to be a starter here, and if he kept Rodgers around, that might not happen. I wonder if he would do that again. I think if he knew how Ringo was going to look in camp, I wonder if they would have come up with the money for Rodgers. Yeah. I think he's
just petty action. That's what he's doing right now. Like all of his moves in the offseason have been like minimum stuff. Like if he was really like worried about it, like Rodgers would probably still be here. Money be damned. Yeah. It's the same thing on our linebacker from last year who signed with the Bengals.
Oren Burks.
Oren Burks. Like, I thought he played well enough to warrant bringing him back on a contract.
I think Howie, the last time they won the Super Bowl, Howie tried to bring back everybody.
Yeah.
And that didn't work out. And I think he went into this offseason with totally the opposite idea. He was going to turn things over, get some young guys out there, not hold on to older guys. And I think maybe Isaiah Rodgers kind of got caught up in that as collateral damage.
Yeah, but now when they win this year, then we'll get like a middle ground.
Maybe so, yes.
Yeah.
But I really think they could use Isaiah Rodgers long about now, yes.
Parsons runs his mouth way too much. Yeah, when you're that good, you're allowed to run your mouth.
Yeah, he can come here and run his mouth all
Not when you only have like one sack in all of his playoff games.
Well, how many playoff games has he played?
Decent amount.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, when he goes to wherever the Eagles aren't going to trade Micah Parsons to the Eagles. That's
Yeah, the
not gonna
Cowboys
happen.
aren't going to trade him. No, they aren't. No.
If Parsons does make his way to Philadelphia, like it's going to have to be on the open market in free agency, and that's going to be an all-out bidding war. But
I don't even think he wants to be here. Like,
he wants his money.
I don't know, but I think it's funny, and I think it's great for the Eagles that Jerry can't figure out how to do this stuff, that Jerry gets into this ridiculous personal thing with Parsons over whether they had a deal among themselves without the agent, which everybody in the NFL now knows you don't do that. That's not how the league works. But they'll sign him eventually.
Will they?
I think so. Yeah.
It just feels different.
The only way they don't is if their season is just a total disaster and it's obvious that they just need to start over. But if they have a decent year, they'll sign him at some point.
Well, the fact that they need to start over is evident to me right now because
quite possible
they're a top-heavy roster that has no role players, they don't draft well, they don't do anything well except
for a while they did, and now they're not, and I don't quite know what has changed.
Yeah, well, Steven picked good, and now I don't know who picks. Jerry says he doesn't pick. I think he still picks.
Yeah.
So we'll so whatever. Forget them. Cayman Hendricks was over $100 million. It's never happening with a 30-plus guy, especially with Carter and the guys.
Probably not, but who knows?
I hate logging on A2D radio and talking about cap stuff like a nerd. Like, give me the guys. We'll figure it out later. Howie always figures it out.
He doesn't, but he doesn't though. Like, right. We figure it out with our guys.
He does stay away from.
Name me. Like there's every year since like 2016. There's a freaking Trey Hendricks out there that every Eagles fan is like, oh my god, he's gonna trade for him. It's gonna happen. Howie's gonna do it, and he never freaking does it. You know why?
It's true, but this would be a good one to do, I think. Because
I understand that, but like, it's just not happening. That's just not his MO. That's not how he does. Like, if you're gonna do a trade like this, you go for someone who's young, who you can extend.
But people who are young and that good don't get traded.
Trayvon Walker is the perfect person I would trade for.
Yeah.
Trayvon Walker, what's he done?
What are you talking about? He just had 10 and a half sacks last year.
Well, Trey Hendrickson won the league, led the league.
That's fantastic. Trey Hendrickson is 30 and is going to hit that wall faster than you can say Yosemite. Like,
is he? I don't know.
I don't know how he takes care. I don't know what he does.
Right. I mean, Howie probably isn't going to do that, but I would certainly look into it.
I would not
myself.
I'm not giving up a good young player in a first round pick for a 30-year-old. While giving them $100 million. That's not happening.
Well, and then to Les's point, you may have a little bit of a problem getting after the passer.
Yeah, I just think that edge rush is not good.
Yeah, there are other ways to improve that. You could go out and get other guys. It doesn't have to be Trey Hendricks.
True. Very true. Very true. Parsons is not that good. Yeah, he kind of is. Yeah.
He's kind of elite.
Let's not be
kind of just because he's on the Cowboys doesn't mean like he's not good. He's very good. The problem is the Cowboys have 3 good players. Only one of them plays defense.
Yeah.
The other two, the other one's a quarterback named Dak Prescott, he's a top 10 guy in my estimation, but he's paid the top guy. And CeeDee Lamb, I mean, every year it seems like a couple receivers pass him around this time of year on the receiver power.
Well, Dak Prescott to me is a guy that during the regular season he might be a top 5 or 6 quarterback.
Yep.
But for some reason, and it's not always his fault, but sometimes it is. In the playoffs, he's not.
The lights are too bright for him.
I don't know. I don't know what it is exactly, but I've seen him play we've all seen him play great in the regular season. I don't quite understand, but
tomato cans, Les. Like they say, first things first all the time. Tomato cans. That's what he's great at. He's great at beating up those tomato cans, those bad teams that can't stand up for themselves, and he looks like an MVP. The numbers show that when he plays playoff caliber teams, he gets his butt handed to him every time.
But they also I think they maybe improved their offensive line this year. I think that has been a problem.
I would hope so. They spent their first round pick on a guard, which
they overspent on him too, which is the best
I would
part.
never pick a guard in the first round.
Most people had a second round grade on him.
Good for them. I mean,
hey, are we going to get to this the trade the Eagles made?
Yes, we are going to get to the trade. Okay. He's a great transition. Les, what do you think about the trade? Fantastic. They bring in John Metchie from the Houston Texans.
Well, we've talked about him before. I mean, his name's been out there for a long time. I think the Eagles probably liked him in the draft.
Yep.
He's Devontae Smith's buddy. This has been brought up many times. This time last year, we were talking about John Metchie, if I'm not mistaken. I guess the opportunity came up to get him for not much, and they took it. But I was surprised, frankly, because I think the wide receiver room has been great this preseason. It's one of the better ones I've seen.
I guess is my question. Where do you think he fits? Does that mean Johnny? I think it means Johnny Wilson might be in not so good state.
Yeah, it's hard because Wilson has improved, at least from what we can see in the preseason. But with Metchie, two things. One is I think he plays the slot.
Yep.
And we don't know that any of these guys is really good in the slot. Two, I believe he can return punts.
Yep.
And if you're not going to use Cooper DeJean for that and risk getting him hurt, they don't have anybody else who's definitely on the roster who can do that. Yep. They had a lot of guys doing it in preseason who aren't going to be on the roster. So that might be something to think about,
So
but
for those of you who didn't see the return, it was tight end Harrison Bryant to the Houston Texans,
and a fifth exchange
wide receiver John Metchie.
Yeah, I think Harrison Bryant hadn't done much. I think they're okay at tight end without him. Metchie's a talent, and
yep.
I don't know that they'll get him in a lot of games right away. I mean, you got the whole thing with learning the system and Hurts getting comfortable with him and all that crap, But it's funny to me because Dotson's had a good offseason and preseason, and Nia Smith suddenly looks like a player, and Wilson's improved, and now you're going to bring in somebody else. My joke was, now maybe they can take one of the bigger wide receivers and make him an edge rusher, which is something they actually need.
How many receivers how many receiver slots are there?
I guess if he's better,
6 at most.
Sometimes in situations like this, they would tell you off the record, but he's better than everybody except our top 2 or something like that. Now, they haven't said that to me. I'm not saying that's – but sometimes when you see a trade like this and you're wondering, don't they like these other guys? It's like, yeah, we like them, but this guy is better than those guys. And maybe that's the case here. Now, why, he had the leukemia. He's back. He's been back from that. Why it never quite, even last season, Houston was terrible last season. Had an awful offensive line.
Yep.
Maybe that had a lot to do with it, but he didn't. They're willing to give him away, basically, which would concern me somewhat. But
so they have a deepish wide receiver room. They have no tight ends. One of their big tight ends got hurt and towards ACL recently.
Right.
I also think they like Metchie. They liked him in the draft. They like his ability. They like his pedigree from Alabama. He's good. He's tight with Devontae Smith, which is good. So that's going to boost morale and things like that. And they just got him at a premium. You're trading you're swapping out picks that you got from the Kenyon Green, CJ GJ trade for a guy who could probably be your wide receiver 3, but you're asking them to be wide receiver 4. And as much as they like Johnny Wilson, you don't really know what you have in him heading into the season. You know what you have in John Metchie. Like, you know what he can do. So that way, if somebody goes down, you've seen enough of him to be like, all right, cool. I can somewhat count on him. Whereas with Johnny Wilson or Nia Smith or Darius Cooper, it's all hope.
Right. But the bottom half of the room looks so much better than it looked a year ago.
Yeah.
And now you're adding a wide receiver. It's funny. It's like when it rains, it pours, This is why we were talking about John Metchie a year ago. It would have been a hell of a guy to bring in a year ago.
Oh, yeah.
And it's value. They're getting value there, I guess.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Pete.
Yeah, I think you're probably going to carry like 6 receivers.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Johnny Wilson and Nia Smith. I'm sorry for your Darius Cooper.
Yeah.
Truthers. He's
and
either
if they do try to get Darius Cooper on the practice squad, I don't know that they will. I really think he's done nice work. Maybe they will, because there's a lot of guys like that around the league. It's a position where there are a lot of guys at that level. Yeah. It's not that unusual for a wide receiver to flash in training camp, but I'd be a little concerned about it. They have lost guys, in that cut down. That I saw a post today from Buffalo about Jordan Poyer, and that's exactly what happened there. Chip's draft pick, was it 2013, I guess, 14? Had a hell of a career in the NFL, but nothing.
Nope. And I keep seeing people talk about that. Oh man, he's good somewhere else. I'm like, I get it, but like, what does him being good here really do? Yeah. Oh man, congratulations! You're like the 3rd or 4th best wide receiver on the Eagles. Like, you're not really playing that much. You're not really giving me what I would need. Yeah. As opposed to like.
And what's the ceiling of a Darius?
Exactly. We've seen these Darius Coopers a dime a dozen. Like, there's always a guy like that on the Eagles in the preseason where they're like, oh my God, you got to have this guy on there.
The guy I really liked, and he's had a very nice career. I think he's still in the league, was DeAndre Carter. Remember him?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, that was, but
solid punt returner.
Eventually,
But like every team in the league has a Darius Cooper right now.
Yeah.
They might not be a receiver.
Yes.
But someone in all 32 of the camps is Darius Cooper.
Yeah, there's a Darius Cooper on every team right now. And look, he could end up being really good. And with John Metchie and with Nia Smith and Johnny Wilson like stepping up, maybe that he's not making it through waivers. So maybe you try the injury BS, give him something like that. Or
they've tightened up on that, but I have my doubts. I see it.
Maybe they look at it and they see a team that's super wide receiver needy, and they
doesn't have a high waiver.
Yeah, exactly. They're really low on the waiver wire, and they'd be willing to trade for him for like a 6th or a 7th round pick. He's not gonna stay here anyway. So, and you get a little bit of draft capital. I'd be fine with that.
I would go into, if I was Darius Cooper, after this trade for Metchie, if I were Darius Cooper, I'd go into Howie's office and ask for a trade or my release. So I can go.
I don't know. I
can go elsewhere and try and catch on somewhere.
It's late in camp.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would ask that. I'd want to.
If I were Howie Roseman, I would laugh at you and point to the door.
Put some film up against.
That's what I want. That's what I want. That's what I would want if I were Darius Cooper.
Put some film up.
Go play my meaningless preseason game against the Jets. I'm not doing a goddamn thing with that.
Well, it doesn't deter if that were to happen for him to come back on the practice squad.
There's zero chance he's making the practice squad. Like, there's somebody. We're 32nd on
Darius Cooper.
Yes. I think he's shown enough to where there's going to be a team.
I want out.
I think it's 50-50 whether he gets to the practice squad or not, but I don't think he's I don't think anybody's like sitting there praying to God that they get the chance to pick up Darius Cooper on the waiver wire. I think it could very well happen that they lose him, but I don't think it's assured that they will. The other thing you have to look at when you get to the roster cut down, and this isn't really applicable at wide receiver, but other positions like offensive line, if you carry a guy, a veteran, a vested veteran, the first week of the season, his salary for the season is guaranteed. And there are a lot of guys, the Brett Toths of the world, that they don't want to do that for. So you'll see guys get cut and you'll be like, oh my God, they cut so-and-so. Well, he'll be back. They just don't want to pay. They don't want to be on the hook for his entire veteran salary, which is pretty substantial these days, but you see a lot of that now. And teams are just shameless about it because they know that everybody does it and everybody wants to get their own guys back. And, it's not like there's a giant market for these guys that are vested veterans. Nobody else wants them on their roster for week one either.
Bob Brinkman, they're keeping Cooper as a returner rather than more than nothing. Like, no, that's not. If
they can literally have been watching Anais Smith do it in the preseason. So, not to mention the fact he's a draft pick.
Cooper out there. No, I don't see that.
He's not good on special teams. Like, that's the one thing they've been talking about is that he's missing tackles in the open field on kickoff return. Like, that's not good. Like, if you're going to be the 6th wide receiver, you have to be able to do things in special teams. You can
That's
say what
why
you
you
want.
never see like a fading 35-year-old wide receiver as your wide receiver 5, because special teams. Yes.
That's why nobody picked up Travis Fulgham after we got rid of him because he can't play special teams. He's just there.
He was on the Dolphins for a minute.
Well, he was a weird guy.
Fast minute.
I think he was a smart guy, but I don't think he really – I've talked about this a lot. There's some guys that will just do anything to get out there and, kill themselves and study and work all day and all night. I didn't see him as that kind of guy. He liked having the success that he had, but I think he's fine without it, And that's probably a healthy way to be.
What did he do for us again?
He had that incredible month, the really bad year, the 2020 year.
Yeah, he led us in receiving yards.
Where he was the best receiver in the league. It was sort of like Don Brown in the Phillies. It was an unbelievable month. He had a game against the 49ers that was like unreal.
They got $120 or something, like 2 touchdowns or something.
Yeah. Ridiculous. And then he just stopped doing it.
Yes.
For no particular reason.
Les, you've been around a lot of professional athletes across a few different sports. How many of these athletes that make all this money actually love the game as opposed to they just do it because they're physically gifted and can make a lot of money doing it?
See, Rob, that's the thing that scouts will tell you and GMs will tell you. If they could know that going into the draft,
they never miss.
They would be ecstatic because that's it. The 2 sports I've covered the most are hockey and football, and it's true in both of those sports because both sports are really hard to play at the level they play. Like hockey, they play 82 games. Football, you kill yourself, you play hurt. It's a huge deal. And there are a lot of guys, I know in football especially, not so much in hockey, but in football, a lot of guys grow up as basketball players. And like junior year in high school, somebody pulls them aside and says, you're not going to be a 6'3" forward in the NBA. Go over here and do this. That was the Andre Dillard story. I talked about that on the show once. Andre Dillard was a basketball player, and they basically told him he had to play football. And, with predictable results. He had all the talent in the world, but did he really, really, really yearn to go out there and hit people? No, he didn't. That's Danny Watkins in a little bit different way. He had the talent. They didn't miss on the talent of that guy. It was there. Ask Jason Kelsey. he would have loved to. That was the same draft year as Kelsey. Kelsey would have loved to have had the size and speed of Danny Watkins, but Danny Watkins had no interest in doing that whatsoever. And yeah, that's the biggest. It's a huge thing, right? And sometimes a guy is okay for the first 3 or 4 years, and he's gung ho and all that, but then he gets hurt or something. And there are a lot of guys that don't want to scramble around and try out and go from team to team. A lot of guys quit in the middle. I know several stories like that where the agent was like, "I can get you into what you'd say." I did it. I made some money. Let's go on with our life. And it's a big thing. It really is.
Habib 215, is Dotson getting traded? No, Dotson's not getting traded.
I don't think anybody wants him.
He's under contract for another year, and then when he leaves and gets signed by another team, you could possibly get a comp pick for him. No.
Yeah. I mean,
and Metchie is
impossible at it. The scenario we were just talking about with Cooper pertains to Johan Dotson as well. If somebody that doesn't have a high waiver thing wants to trade you something for Dotson and Metchie beats him out, but Metchie's got a lot to learn here, a lot to prove before we trade Johan Dotson.
You also he's probably gone next year. Well, whereas you have Metchie for this season and next season because of I believe the way his contract is set up because of the illness.
Okay. I did not know that, but okay. But maybe, Habib Dotson could get traded. I just don't see there's not a big market for guys like that.
I just don't think it makes any sense, in my opinion.
Just about out of time here. We'll close the show with you, Les. Closing thoughts?
Danger.
Les?
Well, I'm interested in this final preseason game. I do like the fact that since they only have 3, that this game isn't just a bunch of guys who aren't going to be on the team running around.
It's a good portion of them, though.
Well, I mean, inevitably, sure, but there will be things to watch in this game. The position battles, the guard thing.
Won't be good quarterback play.
No, there won't be good quarterback play. I thought McCord looked a little better than
not much less
the other guy, but not much. But he's a rookie. I mean, the other guy is not. Dorian
Thompson, Gray, whatever. Yeah, he belongs nowhere near the Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah. Nowhere near.
I mean, he's probably going to be your QB3 because I don't think McCord has shown much.
Well, we'll see. I think McCord has a chance to show us some things here in this final preseason game. I love that touchdown pass he threw after Pryor took the penalty. That's something I'll talk about real quick, by the way. I thought the O-line looked like crap in game 2, and I was a little bit alarmed. I know those aren't your starters, but some of them are guys that you're expecting to play this year, and they couldn't do anything right. It made it hard to evaluate the other aspects of the offense. I have no idea if those running backs are any good. They never opened a hole the whole game. It was horrible. You just don't expect to see that from the Eagles. And I don't know what to make of it, but maybe Cleveland just has incredible defense through the second and third units. Maybe so. But I want to see the O-line play a lot better in this Jets game. And I want to see, some guys step up and nail things down.
PY, closing thought.
Closing thoughts. Can we just finalize who's CB2, who's the starting safety this week? That'd be nice. Maybe we see I'd like to see a little bit more for some of the bottom edge roster guys. I'd like to see Azeez Ojulari play. Yeah.
That would be big for him to have a good game. Yes.
Because I thought he had a really good second game, and he started to pick it up in camp lately.
Mm-hmm.
And Uche, look, Uche he's been really good all off season for them. So, like, if you could get something from both of those guys, like, that would be really good. Like, there's not really anything I need offensively. Like, AJ Dillon looks okay. Like, I'm not shocked. I don't think he's the worst running back ever. So, like, I don't really need to see him do anything too crazy. Like, offensive line, maybe I'd be interested to see how Cameron Williams looks, because I know he was a projected first-round pick, and they got him so late. So.
I have no thoughts on the Eagles versus Jets.
Okay.
I don't care at all. Like, bring on Dallas. Like, let's get some real football. Like, what are we determining in the Jets game? 2 spots, maybe.
There's no determination. There's just things you can look at and be excited for. Like, developmental guys.
How many spots are really up for grabs against the New York Jets?
It has nothing to do with spots so much. It's there are practice squad possibilities for a lot of these guys, and it's going to determine whether or not they stay in the league or not.
Yeah.
Good for them. Doesn't mean I have to be entertained.
No, you don't have to. You don't have to watch. It's all right.
I watched as little as I could of the Cleveland game, so I could do the show competently. Sure. It's a good play by Andrew Mukuba. Good play.
Yeah, it was a great play.
But can we just fast forward to Dallas, please? Like, oh my God, we're just droning on and on about these guys who aren't difference makers, and I'm just want to drive my through that. I want to just kick Dallas's ass week 1 and go repeat. It's
a good point.
Hopefully, Chucks will be back to lead the show next week.
Yes,
because I will not be as coherent about a New York Jets preseason game as I will be Browns or Bengals preseason game. But I digress. Thank you to everyone who watched the show. For PY, Les Bowen, I'm Rob Brinkman. Peace out, everybody.
Yes. Take care.